Welcome back to Buns of Steel. I hope you're ready for a great workout. My name is Paula Steenrod with Advantage Health Corporation. This is going to be more an advanced butt workout or glute workout. So I'm going to show you two different moves that we're going to be doing today just so that I have a little more time to explain them to you. The first one is going to be windmills. You're going to have your first leg out in front of you. Your bottom leg or your left leg is going to be rotated so your feet are pointing underneath you. What we are going to want to do is hinge at your left hip to come down and then hip check back up, really using that left glute. So coming down, hip check, back up. I'll show you from behind. So it's going to be right leg up, left leg comes behind you. You hip hinge down, and then hip check, back up. Give that glute a real nice squeeze. Our second move that's a little more difficult and that you might have to find an alternative move for you to do until you get better is sort of this like tabletop half kneel position. So we're going to be working our right glute first. So your half kneel is going to be left leg out. You're going to swing that around and come down to tabletop, hopefully a little more gracefully than that, and then lift with your right leg as you bring your left leg around and up. So from the front, I start in that half kneel, I come down, that was a little more graceful, and then come back up, it probably won't come all the way out here, it should be a little more graceful than that, but again, I'm also a beginner at this move. So those are going to be some of our more advanced moves for this particular workout, something that you can do differently besides this like crazy tabletop to half kneel. You can just bring right leg up, tap it in front, bring it down, tap it in front. That'll just start to help work that glute and build some strength there. Alright, right leg is going to be first. We're going to start on our side body. I want you nice and long so that you can play a puppet show right down here. Yeah? We're just going to start in 10 seconds. All I want is toes to come high and back down, toes to come high and rotate towards your face. 2 and 1. Rotate and good. Rotate. So these first two moves are a little bit more of a warm-up move. And we're here for 45 seconds and we're going to do 15 seconds rest. So every exercise we do is going to be for 45 seconds and 15-second rest. It'll give you time to transition, rest that glute a little bit, but we're working the left glute this whole time, and then we'll switch over to the left leg. Nice. 15 more seconds here. Long through that spine. Rotate toes to the ceiling. We're doing this to work the glute medius versus the big glute muscle that we normally think of. This is going to help with lateral movement or side-to-side movement. There's 2 and 1. You get 15 seconds rest. Our second exercise is tap front and back. Front and back. Make sure you're not wiggling your body all over the place. You can bend the bottom knee. That will help. Let's start in 2 and 1. Tap front of the mat and back. Front of the mat and back. If you want, you can add a side plank to this. Just another element. We are going to go to tabletop after this. Tabletop after this. You stay there. You look great. Tabletop, you're going to come here. Same rainbow move, but tap outside, inside, outside of the mat, inside. Notice my leg is not coming way high, and I'm not letting that back really collapse. I keep that back nice and long, and I'm just tapping side to side. Awesome. Good job. You're here for another 5 more seconds. You got this. If you want, add a little more. Woo! Lift. There's 2 and 1. But again, that body stays really stable. You have 15 seconds to switch it up. 15 seconds to switch it up. Oh, maybe if you take a little stretch, lengthen through the back. There's 5, 4, 3, 2. Start outside, tap in. Outside, tap in. Draw through those lower abdominals here. Make sure you're long through the spine. And notice I'm not coming way up. You'll see a lot of videos where these beautiful young women are like coming way up, but then they're also swaying their back. So Keep this strong and controlled. Stay here, stay here. I'm going to show you your next move. It's going to be 90-degree knee. You're going to draw a circle with your knee. So you're coming and drawing a circle with that knee. We're going to go half of our time in one direction and half of our time in the other direction. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push it back. You probably are feeling your left glute as much as your right glute at this point. Nice big inhale, bring it back up into that tabletop. Bend that knee, bend the knee in the foot. There's 3, 2, circle out, up, in, and down. Up, out, in, and down. Remember, the down is going to have a little more range of motion. Up will not have as much range of motion, especially if you have tight hip flexors and if you're holding that lower back nice and safe. Try to be intentional in keeping the top of the foot towards the ceiling. Yeah, switch direction. I know, it's weird. I know. We're going to go into those windmills. So remember that first exercise I explained at the beginning of the video? That's what we're doing next. That is what we're doing next. Right leg is going to come forwards for you. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg comes forwards. Rotate left leg behind. If it's starting to be too much for the knee, maybe you add an extra little squish by folding that mat. 3, 2, 1. Shift your left hip back, hip check. Good. Shift your left hip back, hip check. Now it's very likely you feel this more in your left hip because it's a left hip hinge. Totally fine. Kind of a break for the right glute, but also having to stabilize with that right leg. And when you hip check, you're squeezing that right glute pretty hard. This is typically a kettlebell move, and you'll see lots of people have kettlebells and shift up and down like so. But make sure you're doing this move correctly before you get too creative here. Okay? You're looking great. Single leg deadlifts are going to be next, and I want them supported. You stay there. 2, 1. All right. Come up. Straight leg, straight leg. You're going to bend a little bit in that front knee and reach. Again, hip hinge. Right leg is forwards. Pull through the back of that leg in 3, 2, 1. Reach. Long spine, hip hinge. Long spine. Pull from the back of the leg. Nice. Our next exercise is going to be curtsy lunges. Curtsy lunges are going to be next. Your right leg is going to be your brace leg, and your left leg, stay there, is going to come behind you and out. Very nice. Woo! Yes. 10 more seconds here. You've got it. Reach, reach, get a little stretch and pull. There's 3, 2, 1. Curtsy lunges are going to be next. If you need that fold out of your mat, take it out now. Remember, you have 15 seconds to do that. Right leg is stable, right leg is stable. There's 3, 2, 1. Left leg comes behind and tap. Behind and tap. Now notice I have pretty good mobility, so I can come way far out and tap. That might not be you. Listen to your knees. You might be here, but I am going to ask just for a little bend in that right leg, so it's having to load those glutes, okay? You've got it, you're doing great. Nice. Okay, our final exercise for that right glute is that weird tabletop half kneel thing. So you're going to fold your mat again, so you got a little extra squish there. Very nice. 5 more seconds here. There's 4, 3, 2, 1. Give that mat a little fold. Remember, let's start tabletop. You're going to bring a left leg forwards to half kneel and come back down to tabletop. Unless if that's too hard, then right leg comes up and back. There's 2 and 1. Here we go. Lift it up. Woo! And down. Now the guy I learned this from, his name is Phil. He lives in California. He does it like where he comes all the way down and kick out. all the way up. I'm not quite there yet, and I'm okay with that. Woo! Not gracefully, anyway. Yeah. So, you do you, but work that right glute. We got 10 more seconds here. Our last exercise is going to involve both glutes. We're going to go back to those big hip hinges, 2 and 1. We did this for our last time when we did Buns of Steel. Big hip thrusters or good mornings. Hinge through the hips, shift up. Okay, hinge through the hips, push up with those glutes in 2 and 1. You've got it. Shift and pull. Lots of different hand placements. You can put them behind your head and give your head a little push back into your hands. So you're really keeping that back straight. Sometimes that cueing works really well for people. Sometimes you need a hand on the heart center, hand on sacrum, keep the spine in alignment. Sometimes in my last video for Buns of Steel, we do kind of this crunch, take the erector spinae or those back muscles out of it, and just use hamstrings and glutes. 10 more seconds. You do you, figure out what works best. Maybe you're just a half hinge and up, because you know once you get here, you curl through the back. So maybe you're just a half hinge. There's 2 and 1. We got left side. Straighten out that mat. Left side's up. Left side's up. Long through that spine. Toes to the ceiling in 2 and 1. Toes up. We made it to the other side. Yes! Hallelujah, right? Woo! So we have rainbows after this. Rainbows are after this. Good job. Nice. Remember, with the toes up, it's getting those lateral glutes, which sometimes are ignored because they're inside of that big outside glute muscle. But they're just as, if not more important than those big glute muscles. Good. Keep that rib cage tucked long through the spine here. You got to practice here before you come back and forth with that leg, right? 2 and 1. If you need a little stretch, give it a little stretch. Ooh, yeah. 10 seconds before we start those rainbows. Long through the spine. Maybe you bend the bottom knee to keep that torso straight. There's 2 and 1. Tap forwards, tap back. Forwards and back. And again, always appropriate to make it more challenging, as long as we're not, big movements with that torso. Keep that torso relatively still. And the more you keep it still and the more you can lift that leg, the more you're going to feel it in that glute. All right. We do the same thing but in tabletop. That's what's next. Same thing but in tabletop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Yes! Coming that tabletop. Now you know you're going to be on your knees a lot, so maybe you need that extra roll there. Lengthen through that spine. 5, 4, 3. Start out. Tap in. And out. Remember that lower pelvis stays really quiet for me. Keep it really quiet. So none of this business. You're not at a rock concert. You're trying to get Buns of Steel. Very nice. We are drawing circles with our knee next. Drawing those circles. Half and going right and half going left. Woo! Yes! Go left glute, go! Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push back just a little bit. I know you don't like to take breaks, but I want you to have good form for this next one. Nice big inhale. Roll it back up. Set yourself for tabletop. Long. Tuck the tail. 3, 2, 1. Draw your circles. Beautiful. We have half kneel or windmills up next. Windmills are up next. That left leg is going to come forwards. Left leg is going to come forwards. Lengthen through that spine. I just noticed my head was down. I'm probably over-exaggerating now, but lift. Lift through the back of that head. Switch directions with that circle. Good work. Woohoo! Go, left glutes, go. Trying to keep that heel or the foot flat towards the ceiling. Pull up and out. Yes, 3, 2, 1. Keep your right knee on that squishy part of that mat. Left knee comes forwards. Wing the right foot behind you. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hinge through that right foot. Hip check. So like I said, if you watch some kettlebell videos, you'll see this move. They do like to do this. It's good for those hip hinges, but then you'll see people holding lots of weight, getting a really good hip hinge and hip checking. I would say try not to practice this until you've gotten a great hip hinge here and a great hip hinge here before you get into anything that's more than this. Woo! Single leg deadlifts coming up for that left leg. Are you ready for them? I am. Nice work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Stand up. Straddled stance. Straight through that leg. Remember, you're pushing. Push your hips back. Pull through that back of the leg and the glute to come straight up in 3, 2, 1. Reach and pull. Reach. Push those hips back. Pull them forwards. Pull. Yeah. You feel it in the back of that leg. Curtsy lunges are our next exercise. Big breaths. Big exhale. Pull. Some of you might be strong enough to have extra weight around, and you can hold a weight while you do this, right? Hopefully you're starting to get warmed up here, right? A little sweat, never hurt anybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Curtsy lunges. Left leg stays in front. Left leg stays in front. Right leg is going to come behind and tap to the side. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it behind. Now remember, listen to your knees. Not my knees, your knees. You might be like, I squeaked one out. Yeah, I got a little booty hip check and a little bend in that knee, and I'm feeling it right on the outside of my butt. Yes. So just because I'm here doesn't mean that's where your body is, right? That's where my body is. Okay, we have the crazy half kneel to tabletop exercise next. Are you ready for it? I don't know if I'm ready for it. Woo! Yes, 10 more seconds. Remember, you're going to want your knees on that double rolled up portion of your mat. 3, 2, 1. Good work. Okay, I'm going to face this direction. Again, I'm hinging at my left hip. I'm coming to that half kneel, coming down, and maybe you kick that leg back to half kneel. 2 and 1. Bring it to the tabletop. And up. Tabletop. Lift that right leg. Clear it. Clear it. Make sure your left leg is working hard. Yeah. And then this is like the extended version, right? You can always come to tabletop and up. This is going to be just as effective because you're still trying to work that balance on that left glute. Try to, I'm not doing a good job, but try to make this a controlled drop. There's 2 and 1. Nice work. We got one more exercise, you guys. We have those hip thrusters or good mornings. Are you ready for them? It's your last one of the day in 2 and 1. Listen to your body. Where do you need your hands? We can do back of the head, right? Use hamstrings and glutes. Hamstrings and glutes. You can do a heart center. You can do heart center and sacrum. Whatever helps you figure out what your body's doing the best. You can do that crunch. So now I'm really using my abs to turn off those erector spinning muscles to really just do hamstrings and glutes. But into the hips. Push them back, pull up, push them back, push them up, pull up. Yeah, 3, 2, whoo! Oh, you made it through another workout. Good job. I'll see you back here next time.